Hi guys, it's Thomas here, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile of a deck called Voiceless Voice. This is a ritual deck, and now let's see what the cards do. We have Law, the prayers of the Voiceless Voice, that can be used as the total tribute for a ritual summon of a light, dragon, or warrior monster. Also, it activates a voiceless voice spell or trap on summon and special summon itself if a monster of the ritual variety is special summon. Next, we have Diviner of the Herald, our three honorary copies of Law, because by sending with this effect Trias Hierarchia from the deck to the graveyard and activating Hierarchia effect in the graveyard, we get to Tribute Diviner, that when tributed summons a level 2 or lower fairy light monster from the deck. Law, in this case. We also get Saphira, Dragon Queen of the Voiceless Voice, that by discarding herself gets us a light warrior or dragon ritual monster from deck or grave, and by banishing herself gives us a ritual spell, mostly. And also she sends a ritual spell from deck to graveyard to add the ritual monster. That's going to be relevant later. The last archetype monster that's not a ritual monster is Sauravis, Dragon Sage of the Voiceless Voice, that can special summon himself by shuffling into the deck 2 spell from hand and or graveyard, including at least a ritual spell. And when the opponent activates a card effect, we can bounce it back to hand and special summon from deck a ritual monster of the light attribute that's a dragon or a warrior. Next, we have the ritual monsters. Skull Guardian, the protector of the Voiceless Voice, the new Skull Guardian. We have Odai's Pendulum and Sauravis. Now, Skull Guardian gains 2050 attack if we have Law in graveyard on board. If we have Law on board, it's an Omni Negate, and on summon can add a ritual warrior or dragon light monster or a voiceless voice monster. Sauravis is a protection card. You can discard it from hand. If your opponent activates something that targets a monster you control, you negate the activation. And on board, if your opponent summons something special and the summon doesn't generate a chain, you can bounce it back to hand, banish the monster, and negate the summon. It's not once per turn, and that's going to be relevant later. For what regards Odai's Pendulum Graph Dragon, this monster has a pendulum effect that says during the end phase you can add a ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then return this card to your hand. Also, if it's a monster, it deals 300 to your opponent for every time they summon a monster from the extra deck. And the most relevant effect is a spell negate by putting himself in the pendulum zone and can summon a Odai's monster from your extra deck that can then be used as ritual fodder for another ritual summon. We have the ritual spell, Prayers, that is just a normal ritual spell. You can ritual summon a light ritual monster using light monster. And if it's in the graveyard and a light ritual monster leaves the field because of an opponent card effect, you can banish this and special summon from the deck without summoning condition Skull Guardian, Protector of the Voiceless Voice, this Sauravis, or the ritual version of Saphira. And that's it. It's a pretty useful effect. It's really hard to force, for example, Skull Guardian this way. Since the ritual spell names a number of rituals, we can use pre-preparation of rites to add both back to hand, an easy and useful +1. Now we're going to see what law actually searches. Barrier of the Voiceless Voice says your monster can't be targeted if you have low and a light ritual monster, and also the opponent has to attack your ritual monsters. You once per turn can add a Voiceless Voice card from deck to hand. Blessing adds a Voiceless Voice from graveyard or banished, and if a monster is special summoned or normal summoned but not a ritual monster, you get to ritual summon from hand a light, warrior or dragon monster, and it also can be destroyed by battle. Last, we have a trap, Radiance, that can shuffle a light, ritual, dragon or warrior monster or a ritual spell from hand or graveyard to the deck to add back or summon a Voiceless Voice monster, and also can pop itself to pop card your opponent control equal to the number of ritual monster on your field, but it's only one effect per turn. We have Pot of Prosperity to try to find our best cards, and the rest of the deck is Entrap, because the deck is a 1 to 2 card combo deck, or even more actually, but has the chance to be a decent amount of Entrap. We have 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 2 Ghost Ogre, Veiler, and Nibiru. In the extra deck, we have a Relinquished Anima with a Almirage and a Secure Gardener to put low in the graveyard for the combo. We have 3 Dynamondo also for the combo, and can be a removal spell. And this deck is very low on removal in the main, unfortunately. We have a Little Knight. We have the target for Pendulum Graph in Odai's Rebellion, Odai's Rebellion Dragon Overlord, Odai's Rebellion Xyz Dragon, Meteor Burst, that is really good against Tempai, and Vortex, that is never going to have his negate on, but it's still a big body. We have 2 more targets in the extra deck for Diviner, a Herald of Arclight that can search when sent, and an Entis that can pop cards. This Red Raptor card is here because it works very well with Odai's Rebellion Dragon Overlord, and this is the easy part of it. When you use your negate of Pendulum Graph, he goes into the Pendulum Zone, and you can special summon a Odai's monster from your extra deck. You can summon Meteor Burst or Vortex if you need material to use, for example, Blessing to summon back a Soravis that return through hand. But if you don't, you can easily summon a Rebellion Dragon, for example, and if he survives, you can stack on top a Rebellion Overlord that can attack thrice and kill your opponent from almost every board state. And if he kills Rebellion, you can summon Rising Rebellion that pops all the board. So that's just something pretty useful that you can run, so why not? The side deck is 3 Droll Lockbird for the Rogues matchups, 3 Forbidden Droplet for going second, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, and 3 Barrier, because almost every deck suffers Barrier, and the last 3 are a Nibiru, a Ghost Ogre, and a Veiler that round up the 2 off in our main deck. This is the deck list. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to be back for more content in a little while. Bye!